Okay, how are we doing now? Had a glitch in our OPS. We should be on the air now. Um, so you've missed all kinds of wonderful stuff. Can you hear me now? All right, yeah. Hit my OBS software did not have the correct audio input hooked up. So my apologies. I greeted everybody. Welcome to everybody. I posed the question, is the 8 o'clock Central Time broadcast better for you all than earlier in the day? Because a couple weeks ago we had virtually nobody here at the end of the show when we started at 5 o'clock Central Time. And of course, last week was the World Series, so I took the week off to check that out. So let me know in the chat room. Carlzilla, for the most part, yes. Maybe we will do later in the evening. I usually try to schedule around RJL's baseball broadcasts. I know those are very popular, and I don't want to step on him. But we could come on after the RJL Network baseball games, and do a show later in the evening. And so we might take up that tact from here on. I will not be on the air next week. I will be on the road at a professional conference in San Francisco. And if I make it back in one piece from that, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So yeah, and the consensus is rolling in that later is better. So thank you all for the feedback, and thank you for the feedback on the microphone issue. That was an OBS deal that did not connect properly, and here we are. So once again, our main event tonight for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship will be THESZ and Dusty Rhodes for that title. And the rest of the matches for the live stream are listed there in the description of the video. So let's go ahead and get started. Since y'all have keeping you all waiting. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is our opening match for the live broadcast tonight. It is a tag team contest scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this one. Introducing first, team number 1, accompanied to the ring by the one and only Maria Kanellis, standing at 6 foot tall and weighing 225 pounds, out of Boston, Massachusetts. This is Michael Bennett. So Al Red Sox fan and all you other Boston faithful can put your hands together for the local product, Michael Bennett. And his partner, also from Boston, Massachusetts, stands at 6'2", weighs 219 pounds. This is Matt Taven. Taven and Bennett, collectively known as the Kingdom, along with Maria Kanellis. They are in the ring now waiting for the arrival of their opponents. From El Paso, Texas, at a total combined weight of 438 pounds, it's Eddie Guerrero and CHAVO Guerrero Jr. CHAVO making his return to action after injury to team with Uncle Eddie against the Kingdom. So we will go ahead and get things started. The opening initiative, let's see, will be CHAVO starting things off against Michael Bennett. So speed versus power to get things started, and it will be CHAVO Guerrero winning the opening initiative role. And it is CHAVO coming out with a front face lock, taking control. And CHAVO will follow that up with a snapmare, taking Bennett down to the mat. Bennett quickly back up to his feet. CHAVO stays on him, and CHAVO with another snapmare takes Bennett back down to the canvas. Quick tag into Uncle Eddie. And Uncle Eddie comes out and catches that side headlock. Controlling Bennett, frustrating him, but not really doing any damage. And now it is Eddie with a big chop to the chest. Bennett stands his ground. All we can see is the dice tray and the very top of the cards. We'll try that. Is that a little better? And it is Eddie with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Michael Bennett. And on a roll of 7, it is a running back elbow from Eddie Guerrero. As Bennett comes off the turnbuckle, Eddie still in control. Eddie follows that up with a big drop kick that stuns Michael Bennett. He strolls backwards. And another big drop kick, and this time Bennett swats that one aside. Bennett coming back and hitting a spine buster. Trying to hit a spine buster. Eddie out the back door of that one. And now it is Eddie back in control. Multiple reversals on both sides here. But no, Eddie now with a helo dive onto Bennett, and Bennett goes down. Bennett is down and Eddie is in control. Much to the dismay of Maria at ringside, as Eddie is now going to go for a choice F maneuver. He's going to try a running lariat, but Michael Bennett powers his way out of that. And it is Bennett who returns with a photo finish that takes Eddie down. And into the match for the first time will come Matt Taven. Taven into the ring now against Eddie Guerrero. And it is Taven with a big pile driver. Guerrero is down and stays down. Taven now with another big pile driver. Eddie slowly getting to his feet after that one. Taven stays on him with a rope-hung neck breaker that puts Eddie down once again. Now here comes Bennett into the ring. We're going to see a double team. And on a roll of 6, it is a bone-crunching double clothesline delivered by the Kingdom that puts Eddie back down to the canvas. Bennett now with a chance to do some damage. He's going to go for the go back to Japan. That is a level 0 finisher. So Eddie will be finished on a roll of 3 or lower, and on a roll of 6, Eddie is able to escape. First point of fatigue of the match suffered by Eddie Guerrero. Bennett stays on him and goes with the side effect. And Eddie is able to get to his feet slowly. Bennett stays on him with another photo finish. Eddie is going to try and get over and make the tag, and on a roll of 3, he is able to tag in Nephew Chavo. So Eddie taking some damage there before making the tag. Chavo comes in and catches Bennett once again with that front face lock. Bennett again unable to make the tag as Chavo stays on him, working that front face lock. And still no tag able to be made as Chavo now goes for a drop kick, and he nails the drop kick. But Bennett will not go down. Here comes Eddie for a double team. Chavo holds Bennett in place while Eddie comes off with a running elbow smash. That finally did some damage to Bennett. And Eddie now is going to go for that helo dive again and take Bennett off of his feet and down to the canvas. Eddie is going to follow that up with a drop kick. But Bennett again sidesteps the drop kick, comes back with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Eddie, and on a roll of 9, it is a big kick by Michael Bennett that stuns Eddie. Bennett follows that up with another whip to the turnbuckle. And again, a big kick by Michael Bennett stuns Eddie Guerrero. Bennett now going for a hammerlock clothesline. This is a choice F maneuver. Choice F. Meaning he could hit a running lariat on a roll of 7 or lower. But Eddie Guerrero ducks the running lariat and comes back with a Hurricane Rana that takes Bennett back down to the mat. Eddie going to tag in Chavo. Bring the fresh man into the match as Chavo is going to go with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Michael Bennett, and on a roll of 6, Chavo drops down. Bennett comes back off the other way. And on a roll of 2, it is Chavo trying for a sunset flip, but Michael Bennett grabs the back of the neck and rolls Chavo up for a cover. The pin will be 4 or lower, and on a roll of 11, Chavo is able to kick out. Little pull in the tights there by Michael Bennett, but Bennett stays on him, and now he is going to go for a death jump. Going up for the death jump. And on a roll of 5, CHAVO caught him. And Michael Bennett has been thrown down to the mat. Down to the mat goes Bennett. CHAVO in control. And CHAVO now is going to prevent Bennett from crawling out of the ring. And instead, CHAVO is going to go with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Michael Bennett. And on a roll of 11, that is a big one-legged dropkick hit by Chavo Guerrero. Bennett is down. What's Chavo going to do now? He is going to go for a brain buster. Didn't quite get all of that one as Bennett rolls away and slowly gets to his feet. Chavo stays on him. Chavo with a forearm uppercut, stunning Michael Bennett. Here comes Eddie for the double team. And on a roll of 8, it is another big elbow smash delivered by Eddie Guerrero that stuns Michael Bennett. Eddie comes back now with a big back suplex, putting Bennett down to the canvas. Follows that up with a Hurricane Rana, and Michael Bennett rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. First venture out to the arena floor tonight as Bennett goes out, and on a roll of 7, it's going to be Bennett winning the brawl on the arena floor and slamming the head of Eddie Guerrero into the ring apron. That is nasty. Eddie Guerrero has been stunned. Bennett now back in control. He's going to go for a pile driver. That's a +1 finisher. The pin roll now is 5. And on a roll of 3, he may get him if Chavo can't intervene, and Chavo cannot intervene. So Eddie Guerrero has been pinned by Michael Bennett with a pile driver. So congratulations to the team of TAVEN and Bennett. They are your winners. By way of a pile driver from Mike Bennett to Eddie Guerrero. Eddie pinned, and the Kingdom claims the victory here, much to the delight of Maria Kanellis. And when Maria is happy, all the fans are happy. Given her demonstrative display of joy at ringside. So the first match is in the books from the live TV event here. Let's catch up in the chat room. Way to go, Boston and the Kingdom, says our Red Sox fan. Jim Lawrence. Jim Lawrence is here. Welcome, Jim. Good to see you, my man. Cleveland baseball fan 879 has joined us. Pop's Reviews. I believe we already were able to greet. Frank Wainscott was first in line here tonight. And I think we are caught up with everybody in the chat. And hopefully we've got a good view of the tabletop. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. At no point does it bother me if you have feedback. The sound is not good. The view is not good. Any suggestions you have along the way, would love to hear from you. Appreciate that greatly. As we get ready for our next contest. Before we went to air, we started the show with some dark matches, tag team action, the Eliminators. John Cronus and Perry Saturn got the win over Mike Rotunda and Dan Spivey when Saturn pinned Spivey after a super kick. Ric Flair turned aside Les Thatcher with a pinfall using the ropes. And just before we went to air, it was Bobo Brazil with a big hammer punch, putting the lights out on Curt Hennig in a bit of a grudge match that left Bobby Heenan most unhappy at ringside. So now Heenan is back. His mood has not improved. And he will be at ringside for the following contest. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by Bobby the Brain Heenan. He stands at 6'10" and weighs 364 pounds, out of Los Angeles, California. This is Big John Studd. Big John Studd taking the ring to the booing of the fans here in Tampa. And his opponent is a local guy, so the fans are going crazy. Right here in Tampa, Florida, the Brandon Bull, standing at 6 foot tall, weighing 258 pounds. This is the Brandon Bull, Paul Orndorff. So Orndorff set to move out against Big John Studd. Given the history between Orndorff and Bobby Heenan, this will be a match that will be not without controversy or emotions at ringside here. As Orndorff and Studd set to square off, this is a match with some title implications. The winner of this match will be awarded a #1 contenders match somewhere down the line. So this is kind of a quarterfinal matchup, you might say, on the pecking order. And the opening initiative role is won by Paul Orndorff. And Orndorff comes out with a drop kick. That's a power move. And that is going to do no damage against Big John Studd. Studd absorbs that with a smirk and just grabs Orndorff into a big bear hug. Orndorff suffering in that bear hug as the powerful arms and upper body of Big John Studd do their work. But oh, Orndorff just reaches up and pops the ears of Big John Studd, and Orndorff now rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. On the arena floor, it's going to be the double disqualification roll. Orndorff will not be disqualified. Studd will not be disqualified. We go odd even, with Orndorff getting the benefit of the even roll. And on a roll of 3, it is Big John Studd winning the brawl on the arena floor with an Irish whip into the ring steps. Orndorff hitting the steps hard. Studd now in control as action returns to the ring. Studd's going to try a double arm suplex. This is a choice H maneuver, choice H. So he'll need 8 or lower to hit this. And on a roll of 4, he gets him over with that double arm suplex. And Orndorff is stunned, getting back to his feet slowly. Studd stays on him and nails him with a big clothesline. He got all of that one. Orndorff goes down. Studd goes for the cover. The pin roll here is Snake Eyes, but on a roll of 5, Orndorff able to kick out. Studd in control. And Studd now is going to go for that double arm suplex once again on a roll of 8 or lower. He gets him over. And Orndorff again is hurt. Studd stays on him with a big shoulder block. Orndorff getting to his feet. Studd still in control and locks up and just tries to shove Orndorff across the ring, but Orndorff keeps his feet, and Orndorff comes back and catches John Studd with a chin lock. Orndorff trying to control the man. He's giving up 10 inches in height and over 100 pounds in weight is Orndorff as he maintains that chin lock. Studd's not going anywhere as Orndorff now again tries that drop kick and fails, putting Studd back in control. And Studd with another big clothesline puts Orndorff back down to the canvas. Studd now back in control, and Studd going for a big body slam. Orndorff is stunned by that. Studd stays on him with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Paul Orndorff, and on a roll of 5, it is Orndorff who comes off the top ropes with a flying shoulder tackle that stuns Big John Studd. Didn't get him off his feet, but stunned him enough for Orndorff to take control and deliver a series of right-hand punches. Studd fires right back with another whip to the ropes. Orndorff coming off the ropes once again, and this time it is a running double clothesline, and both men are down. The wrestler with the better ropes rating recovers first and rolls on level 3 offense, and that will be Paul Orndorff. Orndorff a B rating on the ropes, Studd a C. Orndorff now in control, and Orndorff goes for a short arm clothesline that keeps Studd down on the canvas. Orndorff now with a forearm drop across the neck. Studd slowly getting to his feet. Orndorff stays on him, gets him up for a big high vertical suplex, up, over, and down to the canvas hard. And now it is Studd who's going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on a roll of 10, that is Orndorff, who's got his hands on a foreign object. Orndorff going to try and hit Big John Studd with a bottle. We may see a disqualification here. We will not, as Orndorff gets away with it, much to the dismay of Bobby Heenan. And back in the ring now, it is Orndorff going up for the death jump. Coming off with the death jump, it is a flying clothesline off the top turnbuckle that puts Studd down. Orndorff stays on him, and he's going to go up for another death jump. And this time, he got all of it once again, as Studd was not quick enough to get him off of the top turnbuckle. Stud down once again, and Orndorff now going to go for another forearm drop, and Stud again is going to leave the ring. And on a roll of 11, it's a big move by Mr. Wonderful as he drops Big John Studd stomach first across the security railing. Stud is down. He may be counted out here on a roll of snake eyes. But on a roll of 5, he is able to get back into the ring ahead of the 10 count, where Paul Orndorff is waiting with malevolent intentions. And Orndorff just hit the jumping pile driver. That's a +2 finisher. The pin roll here is 5 or lower. And on a roll of 6, Stud just barely got his foot over the bottom rope to interrupt the cover. The match will continue, but Orndorff now has control. And Orndorff with a big back suplex takes Stud down to the canvas, and Stud once again is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. But on a roll of 12, that's another big move by Orndorff, backdropping Stud onto the announcer's table, and another possible countout coming up here. The countout roll will be 4 or lower, and on a roll of 4, that's a countout. How about that? Big John Stud has been counted out after being backdropped onto the announcer's table. And we will consult with the countout table. And what will the countout table tell us? HD. The countout table is a homebrew table brought to you by yours truly. And after the countout, from the countout table, y'all probably, I don't know if you can see that or read that, but it wasn't really built for wasn't really built for live broadcasting. I put these together years and years and years ago. But on a roll of 8, the brawl escalates into a brutal attack, roll 1 die. And on a roll of 4, it is the winning wrestler Orndorff who rolls on the attack table. So the attack will continue. Post-match attack by Paul Orndorff. Orndorff, an emotional guy. He's been wrestling as a babyface, but certainly his temper has indeed been known to get the best of him. And as we go to the attack table, let's see what happens. On a roll of 11, the victim is assisted by outside allies, and the attacker is brutalized. So, of course, Heenan has the Heenan family in tow. Ric Flair coming out, Kurt Hennig coming out. It's a 3-on-1 attack on Paul Orndorff, and Orndorff is beaten down, and he will have to be evaluated for injury. So we'll write that down, a post-match beat down on Orndorff. And he will be checked out, and we'll check the injury table on Orndorff and have an announcement forthcoming. Oh heck. Let's go ahead and put the injury table up. What the heck? I don't know if y'all have seen the injury table. The injury table looks like this. So it's rolled off of a D20. And depending on the roll on the D20, the victim can escape the injury. About a 50% chance that no injury will happen. Or it may be minor, moderate, major, or devastating. So we will roll the D20 on Paul Orndorff, and it's a +1 since there were multiple attackers involved. And the roll is an 8 + 1 = 9. Orndorff escapes injury, so he just took, the only injury was suffered was to Orndorff's pride. And let's see, we will go back to the tabletop. And we're back. Okay, I hope that was enlightening to everybody. That's what Orndorff's temper gets him. Orndorff's temper gets him a whooping. And we may see a grudge match in the future for Orndorff and Big John Studd. Or Hennig or Flair or somebody. But the important thing is Orndorff is the winner tonight, and he will have a #1 contenders match upcoming against an opponent to be determined. Now the next match is the #1 contenders match between the current. I guess this would be #1 and #2 on the contenders list. Orndorff now has just made it up to #3 on that list. So he'll be next in line for a #1 contenders match. But ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is a #1 contenders match for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, actually two guys here that are relatively popular. But since we are in Tampa, Florida, probably Gordy would be a little more popular. I don't know. They're both Texans, so we'll just put it out there. Introducing first out of Eagle Pass, Texas, standing at 6'9", weighing 340 pounds. This is Blackjack Mulligan, and his opponent out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, standing at 6'5", weighing 289 pounds. This is Terry Gordy. Yeah, Gordy certainly spent enough time in Atlanta and in the Southeast that in Florida he may be a little better known, a little more popular than Mulligan. But both these guys well liked by the fans. Blackjack Mulligan, of course, part of the Florida chapter of the Justice for All stable. So, yeah, two equally popular men battling it out for a shot at the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. And I think we are ready to go. And the opening initiative roll, of course, is tied. So we'll go to our play.com Highlight Center booklet to figure out what's going to happen with Terry Gordy and Blackjack Mulligan. And on the roll of 6-4. This is Gordy, who's going to the chart. Is the wrestler mean? I'd say Gordy probably has a little more mean streak to him than Mulligan. Let's see what the wrestler puts. Painful neck wrench on third party, then stuns opponent with powerbomb DDT. Or wrestler has compassion on opponent. I don't see any compassion coming from Terry Gordy. So we'll say that Terry Gordy gets the best of the opening confrontation here between these two, and so Gordy will be the one who starts the match on level 2 offense. That's I think the best we can do. So Gordy comes out with a big back suplex, and immediately Mulligan is down, and he's going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. So this one's going to break down right away. It's on the arena floor. It's A versus A, and on a roll of 7, that is Gordy winning the brawl with a backdrop onto the announcer's table. That's the move that cost Big John Studd a countout. Mulligan able to get to his feet and make it back into the ring, but Gordy's going to take it out of the ring yet again. And once again, it is going to be Gordy winning the brawl with a pile driver onto the ring steps. Wow. Gordy and Mulligan mixing it up on the arena floor, and Gordy getting the best of Mulligan. And now it's going to be out of the ring yet again. Will we see some shenanigans here? Yes, we will. It's going to be ringside mayhem here in Tampa right from the get-go. This match breaking down right away. Two supposed good guys, but both as tough as they come. And now it's going to be a foreign object coming into play, the ring steps. We just saw a pile driver onto the ring steps, and now Gordy is going to pick up the ring steps and try and launch them to the cranium of Blackjack Mulligan. This is going to require a gut check roll. And on the gut check roll, it is Mulligan who wins the gut check roll. And he grabs the ring steps away from Gordy and slams it onto the head of Gordy. So Gordy takes a token of fatigue after that. Will we see a disqualification here on Mulligan? We will. Well, we might. We will not. So Mulligan will not be disqualified, and it's only fair. It was Gordy who introduced the ring steps, and Mulligan made him pay the price, and now we're out of the ring again. No shenanigans this time, but on a roll of 9, it is Mulligan winning another brawl on the arena floor and slamming Gordy onto the announcer's table. These two may never make it back to the ring. Referee laying on the count, and now it's out of the ring yet again. And Gordy will roll on the standard chart, and on a roll of 9, Mulligan again wins the brawl on the arena floor with a DDT onto the concrete floor. Wow, this match has gotten ugly in a hurry. As on the arena floor, they're beating each other down, and now back in the ring, it's Mulligan with a back elbow ram that stuns Terry Gordy. Gordy trying to get to his feet, but big boot to the face from Mulligan again stuns Gordy. Mulligan still in charge with another big boot to the face. And now Mulligan with a big lariat takes Terry Gordy over the top rope and down to the arena floor. And out we go again. Gordy on the arena floor. Oops. Somebody's hurling somebody into the crowd. It is Gordy who wins the brawl. Excuse me, and hurls his opponent into the crowd. So Gordy getting a temporary respite here as Mulligan tries to pick himself up. Chairs being brushed aside, fans being brushed aside as Mulligan is getting back into the ring where Gordy's ready and waiting, and Gordy is going to go for a big Samoan drop. This is a choice G maneuver, choice G. So we can go death jump C or we can go power. We'll go death jump C, obviously. And on a roll of 7, the Samoa drop stuns Blackjack Mulligan and puts him down to the canvas hard. Gordy back in control. And now Gordy is going for the pile driver in the ring. This is a +2 finisher. The pin roll is 4 or lower. And on a roll of 8, Mulligan kicks out. Gordy still in control. And now he is going for a power bomb. Taking him down again. The pin roll now 5 or lower. And on a roll of 5, he got him. Wow, that was quite a brawl. But it didn't take long for these men to both just beat the stuffings out of each other. And Terry Gordy is your winner by way of the power bomb. And Terry Gordy is now next in line for a title match here in the Atlantic Wrestling Federation. But the holder of that title remains to be determined, and that is the focus of tonight's main event. And before we hit the main event, fans, as we put things back together, let's catch up with what we may have missed in the chat room. So let's see. When we last left our chat room, let's see, David versus Goliath, Orndorff. Yeah, Orndorff, what a great college football running back at the University of Tampa, indeed. Oh, and Super Blue 1971 has joined us. Welcome, Mike Fortune. I won tourney with Orndorff at a Galacticon at the Hall of Fame. There we go. Surprised a few guys with that card. Yeah, I believe that was the Hall of Fame card, wasn't it? With Orndorff that won that tournament. That was fun. Neil Lau hasn't played much. Orndorff was coached by Earl Bruce at Tampa. I did not know that, in spite of the fact that I am a huge Buckeye fan. And go Buckeyes! How about those Buckeyes putting the stop on Penn State? Rough game today, but that goal line stand for the Buckeyes got it done. And the Buckeyes now should be at least number 2 in the country after that. What else do we got here? Orndorff lost his NWA World title match to Harley Race in Georgia Championship Wrestling, brought to you by Frank Wayne Scott. And at that point, Orndorff's temper got him the beatdown. Update from Jim Lawrence. Diamond, Dallas Page, and Vader will face off against each other, with the winner facing Ric Flair, who holds the Appalachian Heavyweight Championship. Gordy is a beast. He dominated Jim's Pacific Grand Prix Wrestling promotion, winning the title 3 times. All right. So we are caught up in the chat room, and it is now time for your main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, the challenger. He comes to us from Austin, Texas, standing at 6 foot even, weighing 289 pounds. He is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, one of the most popular wrestlers in all of the Heartland, getting a nice round of applause from the fans here in Tampa. And his opponent is your reigning and defending Atlantic Heavyweight Champion out of St. Louis, Missouri. He stands at 6'2". He weighs 238 pounds. This is THESZ. So THESZ, well respected, but certainly not with the level of popularity that Dusty Rhodes would have here in Tampa. And it should be noted that THESZ is wrestling injured. He's got a moderately sprained left ankle that took place in a match in the Filsinger Cup tournament, where THESZ, with no with no malice aforethought, THESZ was wrestling Jerry Lynn, and after a backdrop over the top rope and down to the arena floor, THESZ landed awkwardly and sprained that left ankle pretty significantly. And he was counted out of that match against Jerry Lynn. He opted to defend his title, even though he's still wrestling injured, to meet that 30-day time limit. And Dusty Rhodes ready for action, ready for anything here. As we are ready to roll with THESZ versus Dusty Rhodes in tonight's main event with the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship on the line. Nice Dusty Bootlegs pick. I believe this is from the Ubu collection. Let's see, was this? Yeah, this is a Warner. This is a Warner Muke. Dusty Rhodes bootleg. And the opening initiative role is won by the champion, THESZ, as they come together in the center of the ring. It is THESZ catching a side headlock, and Dusty powers his way right out of that one. And Dusty comes back with a whip to the turnbuckle. THESZ down a notch on his turnbuckle as a result of his injury. And as THESZ comes off the turnbuckle, he is caught by a big kick from Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty takes control. Dusty goes right at him with another drop kick. THESZ staggers back. Dusty stays on him with a vertical suplex, but THESZ is able to block the vertical suplex, and it is THESZ who is countering with a big drop kick, and that puts Dusty down. THESZ, in spite of his injured ankle, able to nail the drop kick. THESZ now with a chance to catch the THESZ press. This is a +2 finisher. He's going right for the finish, the pin roll 4 or lower, and on a roll of 5, Dusty just got out of that. I think THESZ has to go for broke here, because the longer this match goes, the more that injured ankle is going to be problematic. And now THESZ is going to go for a released powerbomb, a choice D maneuver. Choice D, so he can hit agility on 10 or power on 8. He's going to go for the power. Usually anything 7 or lower, 7 or higher, I'll go for. And on a roll of 4, he got it. And Dusty is hurt from that released power bomb by THESZ. THESZ stays on him, airplane spin, around and down to the mat he goes. And Dusty is going to hit the mat and roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. This is where Dusty will have the advantage. And on a roll of 5, that is the double DQ roll. Will we see a disqualification for THESZ? No, we will not. Will we see Dusty disqualified? No. We go odd even with Dusty on the even roll. And on a roll of 6, it is Dusty who wins the battle on the arena floor and slams THESZ onto the announcer's table. Dusty showing no mercy in spite of the injured ankle. And Dusty now going to go for a big elbow drop in the ring. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 3 or lower. And on a roll of 4, he almost got him. Wow. Dusty with an elbow drop nearly gets the pinfall. Dusty now in control, and Dusty going for the big elbow drop again. The pin roll now 4 or lower, and on a roll of 6, THESZ again able to kick out. Mark Ferguson joins us in the chat room as Dusty is in control, and Dusty now going for the Stardust pile driver. And THESZ is going to take the brunt of that and roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor once again. THESZ doesn't want to spend a whole lot of time out of here against a man like Dusty. But in this case, after that flurry, he needs a breather. And on a roll of 10, it is Dusty coming out of the ring and putting a whooping on THESZ with a cannonball off the ring apron. I don't know if Dusty's a cannonball kind of guy, but he hit something off the ring apron. Will he be disqualified here? He will not. And Dusty is back in control as we go back into the ring, and Dusty going for that big elbow drop again. And the cover, the pin roll is 5. And on a roll of 6, THESZ barely gets his leg over the bottom rope to break the count. As Dusty is back in control, and now he is going for yet another elbow drop. The pin roll now is 6. And on a roll of 4, he got him. So definitely an unfortunate outcome for the injured Lou Thesz. But he had to defend his title or lose the belt. And Dusty Rhodes, with a series of big elbow drops, is able to get the cover and regain the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. So Dusty once again is the champion. That will set up a 2 out of 3 falls showdown, which will go down at our next pay-per-view broadcast. So let me pull up the schedule for the next pay-per-view. I'm going to be off next week as I'm going to be traveling on a conference trip. So I'm trying to remember when our next pay-per-view is scheduled. That schedule is going to be on my Excel spreadsheet here. Heartland 24. The suspense is killing me. November 16th. Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight is the pay-per-view. And it will be the best 2 out of 3 falls, Lou Thesz and Dusty Rhodes. And THESZ will still be injured. So he has got to overcome this ankle injury if he is going to regain the title from Dusty. His moderate ankle sprain is in effect until the 23rd of November. So neither the Champions Clock nor the pay-per-view schedule is going to adapt for the injured Lou Thesz, and he's just going to have to suck it up. Or we could run Dusty versus Terry Gordy at the pay-per-view and give THESZ a chance to heal up before his next rematch. So that will be, Dusty would have booked himself to lose. If anything, Dusty would have booked at least 3 false finishes in that match before anything happened. So now we have a commissioner's decision. So there will be a meeting of the commissioners before the next broadcast, before the pay-per-view. Will it be Lou Thesz challenging at the pay-per-view, or will it be Terry Gordy, who won tonight's #1 contenders match and is next in line at the pay-per-view? All right, so that is where we will wrap things up for tonight. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Great crowd tonight. I think we will stick with the later time slot for these videos. James Lawrence, Super Blue 1971, Mike Fortune, Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, Mark Ferguson, Pops Reviews, Frank Wayne Scott, Neil Lau, Al Red Sox Fan was here earlier tonight, Jay Randus, and somebody else I believe we may have... Carl Zilla. Yes, Carl Zilla, of course, was here early on. Derek Bauman checking in. See if there is anybody else I missed. I think that takes care of everybody. So thank you all for tuning in here tonight. It has been a pleasure to have you here in the Dave Cave. Thank you, Al Red Sox Fan, for the encouragement to hit that like button. on your way out through the turnstile. So once again, tomorrow we'll have My Journey with Jesus on the channel for those of you so inclined. Next week there will be no activity on the channel as I will be traveling, but we'll be back in 2 weeks with the next Heartland pay-per-view broadcast of the Rise Up pay-per-view from Miami. The main event on that one will be the NWA World Heavyweight Championship as Barry Windham defends against the Filsinger Cup winner, surprisingly, Pat Patterson. Also, the Midnight Express versus the Steiners for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Randy Savage defending the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship against Terry Funk. And Dusty Rhodes will be defending the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship against an opponent to be named. Big John Studd actually has a feud match with Tom Jenkins on that show, and also a dog collar match pitting Tommy Rich against Buzz Sawyer. So we'll see you in 2 weeks for pay-per-view action. And until then, that's our stream, and I am out of here.